Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 1123 Southeast Bush Street here in Portland. We're located right now, we're actually 44 feet out at the main lateral connection on Southeast Bush Street. We just got done locating. I was actually halfway back in when I accidentally bumped the power button on my camera reel and shut it down. So I pushed back out in case that video file doesn't save properly. You can see how water is just now trickling off. I just put some new water down the pipe here, just so you can see it run down the line. So anyway, what I'm recommending here is an update. You're going to see this as we come back in on the concrete pipe that's on property up to this face of the curb. The clay pipe in this circumstance starts a little bit before the curb. I did a locate right at this transition joint. I actually pushed a little bit past it, about a foot past it, to get the camera straightened out about here. And I was still sitting about a foot and a half or so from the curb, which is, it's right around 30 feet, 29 to 30 feet from the clean out to the street curb. And there is I'm hoping another shot of it. My camera didn't move it out of the way. So right at kind of at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen right now, just up ahead there is the transition from clay to concrete to clay pipe. That item dangling down there from the joint looks too large to be cobwebs. That does appear to be a root that's gone through that joint there. And that is the most likely spot in a sewer line to get a root intrusion, whether it's old or new. Material transitions, especially when there's a diameter change, are by far the weakest joint in your line 2 roots. You got roots coming through right here at about 24 feet, and this line was recently drain cleaned. Sounds like there was some kind of sewer event that happened here very recently, but you've got roots in multiple locations throughout the line. There's some more there. I don't know if these ones have been cut back and we're getting a minimized look at them. So right now we're just about reaching the top of the yard. The line runs down, and this is orientated as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the home. The line looks like it's running down just to the right, just to the left of the walkway, or the stairs that lead up to the front door. I'm gonna try and get back down to the bottom here, right around where the sidewalk starts. I'm getting some rather shallow depths here. At the curb, I was getting around 5 foot 5 inches, and the line's diving at a pretty hard angle here. It doesn't totally surprise me, but right there I was just maybe a foot or so from going under the sidewalk, or going underneath it from the edge of the sidewalk. Around 2.5 feet deep there. Very shallow. So what I recommend looking into here, just because of the amount of foliage this line shoots past, especially the big tree, most importantly out front here, the depth may be the one thing that might allow you to dig this, but I would look into both trenching as well as trenchless repairs on this thing. See what shakes out, makes the most sense, best price. And right here, I think the pipe bottom here is either busted and opened up to the ground, or you've got a root intrusion growing across the line. And again, we're getting kind of a funky view at this. It sounds like a drain cleaning machine went down this line recently, so I don't know what stuff was cut out of here that we're not seeing right now. But you've got root intrusions end to end, as well as other issues here at the start throughout all the concrete pipe. The line's ready for update at this point. Alrighty, about 2 foot 8 inches deep here at the transition from cast to clay. Marked out with a white T marking. You'll see some other lines or arrows from here to the curb, all white paint. Very, very shallow line for this part of town. Usually you're 7 feet deep coming out of the house. Most of these homes have basements. Anyhow, I did notice here, this may also, it's hard to say which came first. After doing about 25,000 sewer scopes at this point in my career, this is a common thing you see with lines that have they're opened up to the ground. You got a rat tunnel right here next to the clean out access. Sometimes these rats are tunneling to get over to where that pipe is. I'm not saying that's the case here necessarily, but it's an extremely common spot to see rat tunnels, is right around where the sewer line comes out of the house. It's often near where the transition joint from cast iron to clay or concrete is. Those are the easiest spots for them to weasel their way into the sewer line in a lot of cases. So rats may very well be getting into this line. They might not be. It might just be coincidence that it's here. But anyway, because of the condition of the concrete pipe on property, I recommend and clay pipe for that matter, you have a little bit of it prior to the curb. I recommend a full update to all clay and concrete pipe within the homeowner's responsibility. Ideally, when you do those repairs, if you can take that repair just beyond the face of the curb, it's ideal. Because transition joints are the weakest joints to roots, if you can take that update just past the street curb, if a root ever does come through that transition joint, it's undoubtedly doing it in city responsibility versus right on the dividing line, where it can kind of go either direction as to whose responsibility that is. So it's always something I recommend here in this part of town. After any repairs are done, make sure a rescope is performed to check the work. That's whether you go trenchless. Realistically, if you do a epoxy liner, you will likely have to do some digging out here. Luckily, it's shallow, but often they'll dig down right where the concrete pipe starts, put in a nice big clean out access, as well as correct any pipe that's out of alignment there. And then you could epoxy line the rest of it. The rest of the line has remained in alignment almost entirely, if not entirely, the rest of the way out. Or if you do a dig style repair, you want to do your rescope after the line is closed, or after the trench is closed. You want to bury it, get everything compacted, ready for concrete pour, like where the sidewalk is at, potentially even part of the street edge. Make sure everything looks good, and then do your concrete work after you've made sure that no settling issues have occurred here. Cast iron pipe's in good shape, the little bit that we did scope.